Jerry Thompson, wife, dog, and I are ready and waiting. Awesome. Jerry, I'm about to show the Trestle, which you have been to. You went to the silo with your wife, but did you also go to the Trestle? I'm pretty sure you did. Oh, this is too tight. Come on. Come off this right here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm about to hear this audio. Not yet. My headset's not on. Okay. Oh, I'm hearing a little bit of audio. Looks like that's just how quiet the audio is. Let's make sure that this audio is up. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to add some additional gain here. Let's go up to 6. How's 6? 6 is okay, but what if I do this as well as 6? Yep, that's getting a little louder, but it's not that much. I don't think it's good enough yet. So we're about to go live. Let's make sure that all this tech is working. I don't know if you heard me earlier, Jerry. You probably didn't, but you and your wife went out to the silo, I know. But you guys didn't go to the Trestle, did you? Because I'm about to show a video of Trestle here in a minute. Let me go ahead and pop out this chat. Put this chat into a different window. Yeah. That way I can pull this over. I can see. Alright, that is low. That's still low. Let's go ahead and bring this to the max. And how about 18? How about 19? That's where I settled on, 19. I'm probably doing what I want. Oh, I also want to down mix this to mono. This is going to help a ton. Now it's just mono. That'll help people with phones. That should be good. All right. I'm going to check this audio here in a second, but welcome in everybody who's hanging out with me. We're about to go live for Milky Way Wednesday. And as I wait for this audio to go on, let's see. Does it get loud? Here, 1 second. I'm about to do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's more like it. I might turn it up when we get into the live, but real quick, let's go ahead and get started on this long opener vid. Day 3. This is the third place I've gone. Didn't go very far because I went up to the silo the first time, then went up to Salt Flats, that's 2 hours north, and back home, and then third night, the Trestle. Actually, the silo is just about 18 minutes up that direction, and so this is close to the silo, and this is the train trestle. It's an abandoned train trestle, and 3 days into my 23 days of doing a Milky Way every night for the great Milky Way chase, I have to admit, I think the challenge so far is that I'm not getting a lot of sleep. Just like last night, I'm using this Rokinon lens. I think I'm going to use the Rokinon lens every video. This is my Canon 5D Mark IV. At the Trestle, there's a couple shots. There's this area that you can shoot down the tracks in a late Milky Way, and then you can also go down below. This railroad tie right here only goes so far. You can't see it in the shadows there, but it terminates at that point. It doesn't have any more railroad ties, and this abandoned, like, wooden cool trestle is awesome. And so I come here and I get a shot in the late Milky Way season, and I go down all the way, or I shoot down this and see the Milky Way all the way down at the end, or I go down there and I capture what I'm going to capture tonight. I was just thinking about how scary it is coming here alone. I don't know what it is about going across abandoned constructions and buildings. You feel like everything's haunted. I'm walking across this trestle already thinking about the ghosts and going, no, Aaron, keep it together. There's no ghosts here. There's nothing out here. You'll be fine. And then these two giant wings start flapping, and I think there were a pair of owls maybe, because birds typically don't fly at night, and they were too big to be bats. And they flew out from perched underneath this and scared the dickens out of me. Oh my God. So I'm gonna get this done quickly. I'm out here now trying to set up my shot. This area below, can you see it? No, you can't see anything. There you go. That is the train trestle. Woo! So now I need to light this thing from this side where I can shoot through it and see the Milky Way. I've done this many times, but I'm wondering how I want to do it tonight, because I want to have my lights come at a different angle than where I'm shooting from. So if I am shooting from around here and see the Milky Way over there, I want the lights to not be in this angle, because then everything's really flat. I want it to have a nice oblique angle, crossing angle, perpendicular angle. That's gonna make this look good. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the light over there this time, really, really low, shining across this way. Now first, I'm gonna try a light behind, because I have two lights. I just don't need to show you guys me. So I'm gonna do a backlit rim light plus a side. I've never done that before. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try that out. So I'm capturing right now. What I'm doing, before I turn this light off of me and I go and place it over there, I wanted to see how my rim lighting is looking. And so that is a little bit too bright. And so now I know to go back there, bring that down, and then come and highlight it. But it's spooky looking, it's cool. I kind of like it. I am going around trying different compositions. This time of year, when the moon is not going to be up at 12:52 a.m., I can wait for the Milky Way to go more vertical and get the shot that I can get from over there, looking down the tracks, and the Milky Way is turning up, you know? So it's nice. And so from here, being low, still kind of a cool arching panorama, what do I want to do? Do I want to put a Milky Way over this silo right here and then do a panorama like this? Or, I mean, on the right there'll be this lit trestle, and on the left there'll be dark silhouettes against the sky of a hill and a road and a fence. I don't know what I'm loving, so I'm keep trying different options. Check out these ones while I walk over there to the other side and try my typical composition. Okay, so I tried a shot up close underneath the train trestle. You can kind of see the wood beam there. This is something I've never shot, where I've shot through the train trestle and I can see the Milky Way core right there. Check out this. See it on my image or the LCD screen? You can, it's a little too bright. But I'll check it out, show you in the other picture. But this might be the shot I come out with tonight. It might be something that's great, or I need to go back and kind of do the thing that I'm typically used to. So we got this panorama. I went all the way from there, all the way till it ends with the arch over there at Cassiopeia on that hill. So I got the full arch in there. Let's see if this works. I'm at the light on the other side. I'm freaked out of my mind. Being out here on my own and going underneath the train tracks. I mean, I'm ready to get out of here. I feel like someone's behind me right now. So thanks for watching. If you guys are enjoying this, follow Photog Adventures. Go to our Instagram at Photog Adventures. Follow mine and Brendan's photography as we go out on all these adventures. If you want to hear all the behind-the-scenes stories of what went well, what didn't go well in our photography, and what funny thing and misadventure happened. Okay, you've decided where to go. You've decided that the moon's out of your way, but now you gotta get rid of those danged clouds. Which hour should you go, and will it work? Here are the two websites that I use to check to see if clouds are gonna ruin my Milky Way. Number one, cliché-but-awesome. This site is only available for those of us living in North America, Canada, US, Mexico, and Bahamas. You go to Clear Sky Charts. I'm in Utah. I'm gonna go to the list first and show you. Here's a quick way to see everywhere in Utah and see all the different stations and get the information for their sky charts really fast. So let's go to the map. I was in the Salt Flats last week, which are over here, and the closest pin is this one in the Knoll. So I'm gonna go to the Knoll Clear Sky Chart. Blue squares are good, white squares are cloudy, and you can see that it's breaking it down hour by hour by hour. All of Tuesday, here's all of Wednesday, and part of Thursday. ClearDarkSky.com is fantastically accurate and great because of all the stations that are local right there, and that's why I love using it here in North America. But even though I don't have to use option number 2, I always add it because working them in together in tandem is a better way to know for sure whether you should go out. Option number 2, clearoutside.com is fantastic, and it's for everyone else in the rest of the world. You get more than 48 hours. Click on Tuesday, for instance. Green is great, and everything else going towards orangish red is bad. Huge benefit of clearoutside.com is that it breaks it down by elevation, high elevation clouds, middle, and low. So you're gonna see if there's a low covering coming towards you, or maybe you wanna plan a sunrise where you get that early morning glow before the sunrise happens on those high elevation clouds. It's gonna show you right here. You can see total clouds just like we got in clear dark sky, but you're also getting low clouds, medium, and high. Oh, awesome, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, I'm gonna see an International Space Station fly over. You don't get that information at cleardarksky.com, so it's awesome to work these together and get all that information combined. Thanks guys for watching this video again and coming back. I'm back from the workshops that I was in. I was in Oregon and Salt Flats. Now I'm back in studio, finishing up the rest of these videos, and I wanna thank all of you who joined the Milky Way Photographers Guild. I really appreciate your support and looking forward to hanging out with you. And next we're gonna talk about planning with photo pills, and I'll get that out as soon as possible. Fix later on. All right, okay. Find the sky. Find the sky, Star Landscape Stacker. Ooh, it barely. And welcome in. Okay, I'm making sure that audio is good, so I'm going to be listening to this right here. I'm about to be 20 seconds behind my audio right here to make sure that everything worked out. But you guys let me know. Is this mic coming through loud and clear? I just connected to a different device today, so let's see how it works. Okay, looks like I'm watching that beginning clip that's going into it. We're opening up for Milky Way Wednesday, and what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I think the audio is okay, but I don't think it's great. I wonder what people are going to be saying in a second. Most likely reviews are coming. I'm going to go up to 24. Let's just try 24. Let's just really push it so you have no trouble hearing me. Hey to James. Hey to Kathy. Hey Doug. Hey Viet. Win. Shelby Diamond Star. Hey MaryBeth, you made it, man. And Mark, is Mark SM old? Oh, Mark Moore here. Yes, awesome. In Mission Viejo, sweet. Shelby Diamond Star, say hello all. Earl, you made it. Earl Todd made it. Paolo Bergamo. Oh man, Paolo. It's way early in the morning, man, out there in Italia. So, buonanotte. Thanks for joining. Orion Molecular Cloud Complex. Wednesday has a nice ring to it, from Keith. Yeah, I think I am yelling. I'm yelling good and loud. Let me know if that's actually too much, but I'm going to scroll down. Turn the volume a little bit. Viet said yes. Okay. And, oh, that's funny. I have The Office playing in the background. How did I accidentally activate that episode of The Office? Not entirely certain, but we'll be good. So it's fine. It's fine. Sounds good. And your lips match your words. That's the important thing. Sally Berry says coming through. Brian says sounds good. Okay, now I just asked you to type a bunch of stuff. I'm going to ask you to type again. I want to hear from everyone. Have you gone out for Orion yet? Have you gone out for Orion in 2022? Let me know. Let's hear it. Let's hear it if you guys in the chat have actually gone out to Orion. And you know what? Let's open things up. Let's go ahead and get out of here. So let's do this real fast one more time. Off and on. Welcome in, everybody. It's Milky Way Wednesday, and we're going to celebrate the fact that it is the Milky Way season, and this week we're talking about Orion, not Milky Way. But I will talk about procedures and stuff with MaryBeth that we did that are useful for the Milky Way, as well as just a celebration of the night sky. The night sky is terrific, terrific. So I'm getting some answers with you, Aaron, Shelby Diamond Star. Hi from the Mile High City, Charles says. Doug says no. And Chris says, yo, happy Wednesday. Harvey Cohen, smiley face. John Henry, howdy. Hello from Arizona with Hudson. And volume's good. Okay, let's go down to the no's. Nope, not yet. No, yes. Oh, man, there's a lot of no's, yes, no, yep, a few times. Okay, Chris is winning. He's winning so far. Not yet, says Mark. No, thumbs up from Viet. And no, it's been cloudy forever. Kathy is like, yeah, I mean, we can't change that weather, unfortunately. Yes, John Henry did 2 minutes on MSM. So JHM used his MSM and got 2 minutes of his Orion. Awesome. I did 180 minutes in this example that I'm going to show today. And Mohammed El Mohammadi back with Aaron. Hello, Aaron and everybody. Hey, Mohammed. Sally says no Orion yet. Yeah, I know. I have it only thanks to the trip with MaryBeth. We were clouded out mostly during it. You'll see in this picture that I'm going to share today how, man, it actually gets a little bit blocked. It gets a little bit, how do I say it? The clouds come in thinly, and it's going to block it, but then it benefits it with what is basically a double fog filter, if you've ever heard of those. The Cuban Chef, hello, hey. Daryl says, not Orion per se. I've been trying to do the Orion Nebula, the Running Man with a 300mm lens, and Horsehead with the big scope. Oh, yeah, then you're doing it. That counts, Daryl, and that is awesome. Not yet for Hudson. Will be in Death Valley next weekend and plan on pulling out the tracker. Yes, awesome. Do it, Hudson. Do it. It's worth it, and... okay, here's the thing. We're going to talk about this project MaryBeth started with. MaryBeth, you did it with Rachel, right? You were doing an Orion project that ended up being a full skunking for the entire week of Canadian weather. And so I like the term Project Orion thanks to MaryBeth. And when she came here to Utah, we did a little Project Orion down in Moab. We kind of went through the cliched tourist locations. Hit Zion, hit the bridge. We couldn't do it from the bridge. They block you off the bridge now to shoot down the south, looking out down the river on the south direction. And then we went up to Canyon Overlook in Zion. And then we went over to Moab and hit up Arches and Canyonlands with, Delicate Arch, the Windows area, and, the classic tourist niche, well, not niche, cliche, Mesa Arch. So we were there. Oh, hello from Portugal, awesome. I don't know how you would say Portugal in a Portuguese, like Portuguese accent, Portugal. But, yeah, I'm a huge fan, obviously, of Cristiano Ronaldo. He is a terrific football player. So that he is the one that makes me think about Portugal. So welcome, Luis. And Bob says, I haven't been out since November, going out next weekend. I was with you, Bob, in November. Man, I hope you get out soon. Awesome. I know that everyone's going through a little bit of COVID, a little bit of Omicron, a little bit of cold, a little bit of flu. But now it's time. It's time, I'm telling you. It's time. We are going to show some of the challenges that MaryBeth and I had, and I'm going to show you something that, well, an app that normally I don't talk about that much. It's great, and as great, and with other features that are even better than photo pills. And we're going to go through it today and show you a feature. Unfortunately, I had this idea last minute, and I have to do it off the cuff. So bear with me as I add something. Maybe MaryBeth and Kirk can help me out in here if I'm, going the wrong direction. But we've got this. Looks like I've got a few more apps to turn on in the background. Welcome in. So now I've gotten a bunch of answers about actually going and seeing Orion. The last thing I'll ask, because this is Milky Way Wednesday, is tell me the date that was the last night you shot the Milky Way in 2022. And if you haven't seen it in 2022 yet, just put not yet. Not yet. So I want a date or not yet. Exactly. Winky face from MaryBeth, Planit Pro. Let me open up that other app that's going to connect my phone. It is called Reflector. That's right. It has been a good day today. I hope it's been a good day for all of you as we're sitting down for a Milky Way Wednesday. I love and appreciate that all of you are here hanging out with me tonight. We were hopefully having a great Thanksgiving week. A great Valentine's week. Hope you had a good Valentine's week. Not yet. Last week, MaryBeth got it last week. I have not shot the core yet this year. This is the longest stretch I've had. Well, okay, 2016. I started in March, but I haven't done it yet. January 29th, February 12th, February 2nd. Yes, awesome. Mark went out just a couple nights ago. A few nights ago now, I guess, huh? Today's the 16th. 4 nights. Not yet, not yet. Not yet for Vic. Man, not yet for Phil as well. Not yet for Mark. We are needing to get out. But, this time gets even better. As we were talking about last week, yeah, I think it was 2 weeks. Last week we talked about that shape of the February Milky Way. We have a full moon right now. It's not possible. But as soon as, 2 weeks, or really, it depends on how long it takes for that moon to go down and the sun, Milky Way to rise. It's not going to happen this week at all. Even though you do have some dark hours, you're going to have to wait until the following week. And then we've got a good Milky Way. We'll check it out here. Maybe later I'll have you call out to some places and we'll find it. No Milky Way for me since August. Oh, Keith, are you in Canada? Where do you mean? Where are you located, Keith? Or I guess, You know, he's not saying the Milky Way was invisible. He's just saying he hasn't been out. That's too bad. Mark, last night to have an hour of no moon. Yes, last night there's an hour of no moon for dark sky, deep sky, Orion stuff. But the Milky Way core, man, that thing finally rises on us in the northern hemisphere while the moon is still up, or it has finally risen and now is up the rest of the night. So we got to deal with that. Nope, but Milky Way twice. Okay, cool. Henry went out. Daryl went out on the 5th of February. Sweet. Okay, there's a good group of people here who have already gone out. We need to start having a share, something that I can look at and say, all right, who has had it, who hasn't, and I'll see their pictures. That would be fun. I'm going to double check that the emails for Milky Way Wednesday have come in. Okay, we haven't had any new ones. Okay, that might be a place for me to receive some of these emails. Okay, all right, cool. So let's get talking about the Orion project, and let's get rolling into this discussion. And the way I want to start it is just by simply introducing you to mine and MaryBeth's hike up to Delicate Arch. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can hear the video that you guys are hearing and make sure that the audio goes well. I'm going to turn off the delay audio from there and then listen to it from here. And let's see how this goes. Come on, baby. Work the way I want. All right, I need to add my audio. For right now, it is just MaryBeth walking. You can see her over there on the left of Delicate Arch, and she's walking out right now from where she was at, and she's about to go capture a cool shot of the Raven. So, this clip isn't any longer. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to grab another one real quick, so just bear with me here. I wanted to have a longer one, and that was clip 5664, so let's just pull up 5665. If there's any swearing, I'll keep this on silence, and I'll just kind of over-speak them, So here we go. Now you can see this group that we're hanging out with. I'm going to keep this audio nice and silent. That's perfect. And so you can see people hanging out for the sunset. This is really not that many, and it gets more and more packed as we go into this. In fact, check out MaryBeth right there getting that shot of the Raven. Unfortunately, with this tool, I can't see how long the clips go. And instead of editing the full video and making myself late today, I just went for sharing. Oh, and I don't even know what this is going to be. Oh, that's the hotel room. That's us looking out the window at the snow. So let's go.
I used the Star Adventure.
Oh, that's not the right clip. Well, that's MaryBeth, but that's not the right clip. So let's go ahead and bring in video of me. In fact, let's just go back here to the main shot of me. So Delicate Arch, if you've never been up there, you know that it can be a little packed. And unfortunately, because this isn't my Mac, I can't preview clips in the background, so I don't show you the shot of the hotel room looking out and seeing snow. That's not very pleasant to see. Well, it's actually awesome to see, but it's not cool that I couldn't double check exactly what this was. So this area of Delicate Arch, it's exciting. It makes you think, we could get a really good Orion shot right next to Delicate Arch. Oh, yeah. You can go there, get in position, and then look up and see Delicate Arch. And then next to it, maybe touching it, Orion with all its cool stars. Unfortunately, that is not what was possible. And we're going to talk about that feature in Planit and talk about what didn't go well about the trip. I just double checking my audio. Now I'm good. So I'm going to share my phone and bring that phone screen up here in a moment. I just need to get it connected with my computer. How many of you have ever used Planit Pro, and have you ever tried the feature of using the virtual reality that brings in the terrain? Has anyone done that yet? I'm waiting for an answer. It's going to come. Let me get myself over on the correct network with this phone, and there it is. Cool. Let's connect it so that way it'll go on. You never know with me, MaryBeth says. So this connection is going to show me. It won't have an internet connection. It should though. It really should. Okay, there it goes. Whew. Okay, I was afraid that that was going to kill our connection there. So I'm going to bring up the cam chat so you have that to see as it's going through. Those of you who have used Planit Pro, you're going to recognize this feature, and you might have Planit Pro and never know that this feature even existed and be stoked that someone's showing it to you. Kirk showed this to me. It is terrific. Absolutely love this feature. All right, 1217. My device is responding and I can now connect, and soon I'll be showing you my iPhone screen so I can take you through these functionalities that we went through using Planit Pro. All right, let's show the iMac screen. So here's my phone over here, and we're gonna go over to my app. It's right here, Planit Pro. If you see my mouse kind of wiggling right there on top of that, that is Planit Pro. That's the app that I'm going to show you off this feature. And last time we set it up, looks like we were checking out the rocks up in the northern part of Arches. Let's get ourselves down to Delicate Arch again. And this is going to be a guess. Am I sitting there at Windows? Yeah, it looks like Windows. So let's go up to Delicate Arch. And over, and oh man, I think I'm going right over it. It's so close. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Delicate Arch. Yes, Delicate Arch right there. Okay, that's what I wasn't seeing. I wasn't going over the right enough. So here is Delicate Arch, and what we want to do is we want to show where we're going to be standing. See all these people who are out here? We're going to show a tripod right about here, and I put that pin down. Unlike photo pills, you have a little bit of a different handling. You know what? I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger since this is just my iPhone. Why not? The handling is you don't just declare your position. You actually declare your camera's tripod position, your position, plus your subject's position. So right here I put down the red pin, but I need to pick something down here, and I'm going to say it's the camera. So now the camera knows this is where it's at, and it's going to give me some focal length options. In fact, MaryBeth and I were using 24, 21. I'm trying to use my mouse cursor for some reason to change that setting. I was using a 24 millimeter. So let's just go with the 24 millimeter. MaryBeth, I think, was on a 20. And now it shows with this green. Watch this as I change this focal length. I'll go very wide, 10. Now this thing is hugely wide. Watch this green part moving back and forth. That is a wide angle showing me, okay, if I pointed directly south, looks like in that wide angle, Delicate Arch would be in frame. Let's change this to that 24 millimeter that I have. All right, 24 millimeters declaring, here's the width of that frame. And now I need to turn more this direction to get Delicate Arch in there. Well, there's some other features that come into play when I do this. And these are the VR or AR features. And the VR is my absolute favorite. It knows my location. It knows that I'm here at this spot on this rock. And when I go down to this plus sign, I can go into the options of, oh, you know, I should hit that square. The square right below it. This is an app I rarely use, and so apologies as I go back and forth on doing this correct. You hit the square, not the plus sign. The plus sign's adding different markers, different scene locations. We're going to add something with these functionalities, but we're just going to do the square today. So this is VR or Viewfinder VR, Viewfinder AR. We're going to do Viewfinder VR. Virtual reality means it's going to pull in the terrain and give us an example of what's there. So now that I hit that, it shows the terrain from my camera position. Watch, if I move myself here over to the right, and then I come out of this, and the way I come out of this is up here at the top left. There's that caret arrow. I come out, and you can see that now my camera has moved away from Delicate Arch. So I want to really spy Delicate Arch on the far left and have it be, okay, so it's on the far right of the frame. Oh, I should do it this way. Far right of the frame is Delicate Arch, and over here on the left side of the frame is something interesting. What? Milky Way, Moon, Sun, Orion. Let's hit this again. Let's go into VR. So now we're looking at VR based on the current time right now. Or actually, look, it's already set for January 20th, 2022. And this is 7:18 p.m. Let's look at some of my clips. Oh, man, I really wish that Windows didn't have as little a cool feature to show these clips as my Mac does. I have this feeling every week that I've got it, that everything's fine. Now I'm set. This Windows machine is not going to be any different than my Mac, and I get stuck in another situation where I wish I was back at my Windows machine. I just want to see the times on here. So specifically 7:18. Let's see if I have a video from 7:18 on the 20th. I think I do because I'm capturing around 5. Okay, 4:52, and then it was too dark. Okay, so my last clip was this one, 5665. Let's go ahead and get that set up over here on my video clip. 5665, 5615, 5665, 5645. There you are. I also want to sort you differently. Let's view you by details so everything goes in order. That's going to be so much easier. All right, 5665. There you are. All right, cool. So now I've got that clip available to play. So this time, it's around 5665. Let's see what the sky looked like. I'm going to use this part down here to navigate me. In fact, I'll, oh, you know what? Yeah, I need to make sure I'm on this scene. I'm just going to show the clip real quick and come back because I have it set up on a transition, and I just want to do it on the transition. So, oh, that clip's not playing. Oh, because I turned it off. That's why. There we go. All right, so now I'll get out of that studio mode, and looks like at that time, 5665, sun is up, the stars are out there beyond it, and that's when MaryBeth is coming back and then capturing the raven. Yep, right there. So let's go ahead and come back to my screen with the iPad, or the iPhone, and we're going to change this clock down here. I'm going to turn off this banner at the bottom so you can see the whole phone, and this is what I'm going to change down here to change my time. And as I scrub it, holding my finger on it, you'll see how it shows the twilight period getting darker, and then full darkness, and then gives me actual constellations. And as it's going through the night, what am I going to see? In fact, if I wanted to, I could just hit this play button and let it take it through it for me, and I can watch. Oh, there's Orion. Okay. Orion is directly at my middle point of this. Orion gets intersected right here, but it's a little higher. So I'm going to tilt my camera up higher so I can see Orion in it and get less foreground. Okay, so there's Orion. I'm going to put Orion off to the left, and I want Orion to be about that high in my frame, because you're looking at this rectangle as your frame as well. You're recognizing, okay, this Orion up here, and then the rocks down there, but I'm not seeing the delicate arch, unfortunately, but I am seeing the rocks. This is neat. So I'm going to go out and make sure that this middle line right here, where it shows in this sky, that's where Orion is going to be on the very bottom of its feet. Let's go back out. So now at this angle is the angle I'd want to be. So say I was on location or planning to be on location, I would know, okay, this is the hard part. I don't want to move that 2 fingers. Okay, cool. I didn't want to move my wide angle green. I can't really lock that, can I, MaryBeth? I probably can't. So right here is where I want my tripod to be, and I want to be looking at this azimuth, 132 degrees. Now I can't do that from memory, but I do know that it's roughly southeast, and then I'm going to get myself in position that way. I know that it will be workable based on the fact that Orion does show up. But I was starting to see something in this VR that was giving me cause to concern. I think MaryBeth was hinting at it a little bit too. What is something that is showing up in your minds? If you're looking at this for the first time, you don't know. If you know this app before, you might be fully aware that these degrees on the other side here, that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant. 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 15 degrees. That's a lot of height. I'm going to jump over to Photo Pills to show you a little bit of what I mean about these degrees. And I'm going to use a tool in Planner that if you don't know about, look for it in my video. I call it the Find Tool video. It says like Find, my favorite tool or something. Look underneath Find and Photog Adventures and you should find this. Down here at the bottom is this magnifying glass. Hit that. And I'm going to choose the moon at azimuth and elevation. So from delicate arch, it tells me on these days, that's when the moon is visible at this azimuth going all the way this way. So what does that mean? What am I trying to say about azimuth? I'll do this fast. I can't hook up my iPad right now and draw so because I'm doing my phone. But check out, this is my azimuth. Directly east of me is an azimuth degree, and as it pans all the way around, it's telling me where that moon will be. Now, in this situation, it's saying kind of northwest or northeast, all the way down to the south, all the way over to the northwest is where the moon is possible to be seen. So it shows up in all those different degrees, but directly north of me, you can never find the moon. So basically, literally, if I was standing by that rock, let's say that this rock right here was something of interest to me, and I wanted the moon to be on the side of this right. Oh, I should probably show you my screen. You see the rock right here, this one that I've zoomed in on? This one on the right, where that blue line is, the moon is possible in the blue line, but it's not possible in the gray shadowy area. So it's telling me real fast, this is the degrees of azimuth that it's possible, but the elevation isn't being talked about yet. I can click up here on elevation and tackle my elevation. I want it to be here. I want it to be here. I want it to be here. Well, let's think about what I was just pointing out in the other picture. On the side, 5-degree elevation, 10-degree elevation, 15-degree. How far is Orion's bottom star? Here's Rigel, here's Betelgeuse. I don't know the name of this star by memory, but that's 25 degrees high up. All right, let's go back to photopills. I'm down here at 5 degrees. You can see the numbers going up right here. And 10, 11, 15, 20, 25. Okay, 25 degrees. How's that feel? That feels pretty decent. I mean, right there, it's not on the ground, so it should be perfect. I should be able to line myself up really decently with that. Well, let's go back to this video. Can I line myself up with this? Notice that guy sitting in front of me, and I show this group over here. Look at this sheer sandstone cliff. I don't want to give you any PTSD, Blake, but look at that sheer sandstone cliff edge. This is not where you want to spend your time, and where MaryBeth is going to see the ravens, around here you could go, but then you really have to scoot down into what's almost like a lobster trap. Hey, Andy, and that lobster trap is going to be something that could keep you there forever if you don't get out. I think on that edge, it's easy to climb out of, but that's the problem. Oh, I wish I could draw. I'll be right back. Enjoy. I know there's a better clip I can give you that is going to be enjoyable. Let's show you 5677 because I'm going to 5681 because that's going to be something that talks about me setting up my focus. And I'll do that. Hopefully I talk appropriately. When I record in the background, sometimes I joke with my friends and we'll say something like a little swear here or there. And I don't do that in this clip since usually I edit around the swears. Okay, let's hear me.
Great modern. Oh, yeah.
Okay, got that. Oh, looks like I'm already done with that clip. Okay, maybe it worked long. Maybe that was a terribly short clip. I thought it was longer. This is our position that we're dealing with out there. Let me go over to the main screen so you see me in full. This is that bowl that is there. This bowl that we're walking around, you go down in, that's not the worst, but let's pretend like this water bottle is pointing towards the subject. I want to hit the subject where... Okay. I'll unplug that and I'll hold this by its mic. Makeshift visual aids. That's the keystone of Aaron King, I swear. All right, so here we go. This is delicate arch at the top of this bowl, and now I'm trying to see it next to, say, I wish you weren't so flimsy, headphones. I want to see it next to the word adventures, the ES on adventures. And as I look up there, I can see, okay, here's where delicate arch is, and here's where I'm standing looking at it. and it's got a good gap between the S and the top of the headphone. So I can go down in this hole, which will then move this up further. But going down in that hole, what kind of angle can I get, and will that work? With MaryBeth and I looking around that night, we weren't seeing any way of making that work. It goes too sheer, too steep. So we tried going up, but all it did is push Delicate Arch down. So how can you plan before you get there to see if that subject will match? Here's where Planit comes in a really cool way. So now I am going to go over to Planit again. Here's our subject. Here's our terrain that has been downloaded. What can we do to change this? Well, let's play around with something. I am going to pull up this window where it's me talking, and I am going to say, all right, degree height of Delicate Arch. Let's see if I can get that. Details, hiking and walking. Boom, boom, boom. The arch itself. This is just for hiking there. Delicate Arch. How about I just do how tall is Delicate Arch? Delicate Arch is 146 meters or 480 feet, but that's the trail. What about the rock itself? How tall is the actual rock? Here we go. 52 foot tall. So Delicate Arch is 52 feet. And like I was telling you about that bowl shape, let me show you this. This will show you a good example of that bowl shape, except it might be tiny. It is so, there we go. So this, Aaron King, can we make you a little smaller? Yeah. This is the flat area that MaryBeth and I were standing on. Here's where everyone was gathering around, and you come around here and you can go down, but you got to go down into this. And then at that point, not only do you get Orion close, but you change the angle that you're looking through Delicate Arch. It becomes less of a big open window and more of a tight sideways view. It's not terrific. It's not terrific at all. So then let's go back to 52 feet. That knowledge of 52 feet. All right. How do we do? What do we do with this? So now that we're in this view, I'm going to hit this plus sign. And all right, it's not going to be in the plus sign. We're going to go on the square, and we're going to hit this guy right there. It's this square. And I'm going to draw a square. Come on. Draw a square. Let's do it by dots. Okay, MaryBeth, guide me. What am I doing wrong? What am I forgetting about this? I need to add something, and that's what the plus sign is typically for. I need to add a marker, and it's going to be a custom marker. So let's do a new. Let's do a new plan. No, cancel. Crap. I knew I should have not thought of this last minute because it's a really cool feature that I need to add. MaryBeth is going to get caught up to the live stream and be able to help me out here, so I am just going to fumble through here a little bit. Has size, has model. Markers. Oh man, Kirk showed me this. How am I not remembering this? I wish you were here, Kirk, and I could just throw you on live right now. That's an interesting model, but man, come on. Think. The plus sign, and then what's here? This is just tasks. Oh man, MaryBeth, bummer. I thought of this so last minute. I knew this was gonna be a crapshoot to make it happen, and I thought, I can do this. This is right here giving me hope, but then it doesn't do it. Let's go 3D. Shows the terrain in 3D, and which direction are we looking? We're looking into that hole, it looks like, and the follow further away hills. And then the slope comes up, and this is where Delicate Arch is. You can see how that kind of matches up with Delicate Arch with this hill back there and there. But let's make sure that I'm even facing it anymore. Let's go out of the video, and it's completely changed my direction of my camera. So let's go ahead and change this. Oh, come on. Go down. focal length. There we go. Focal length is pointing right here. I'm going to change this focal length to 24 millimeter and then go back into my window, see the VR. All right, so this is looking at the terrain. I'm going to hit 3D. Shows the terrain in 3D, so there's a little bit more 3D now, and it shows that slope going down. It's topographical. I wish I could zoom in a little bit more for you, but this topography showing the slope going down in front of me right here, and then that drop off that has the gap between this hill and that hill. So MaryBeth says I got nothing. I felt oh, Kirk knows. Man, MaryBeth, it was inside this plus, and it's just adding a marker, and you create a custom box, but I am losing that custom box. Oh, well, you know what? We have something for next week, because Planit for photographers, the way that this works right here is you can put in a box, in a literal rectangle that is in this VR mode at the height of 52 feet and be able to see, all right, with 52 feet calculated now off of this rock right here, does it go up to Orion, nice and big, or does it end up being about this big? That's the problem we run into, is that it does end up being very low. I'm going to go to my cam chat while I load up my Lightroom. And honestly, on this computer, this will be the first time it is loaded. Oh, you're kidding me. Looks like I'm going to underestimate. I'm going to underestimate how much was installed from my Creative Cloud, and it looks like it's possible that Lightroom needs to be installed. It would be pretty quick, and so I'm going to talk about another element of this, because I want to talk about blue hour. There's a time that when you're blending with the moving tracker image, you get the sky, and you want to get the foreground to be sharp. That foreground can be brilliant in a blue hour shot, where at nighttime it's a little too dark. You can shoot during the daytime and have it be brilliant, but then it seems too bright compared to night. And so you have this nice compromise light of blue hour that gives you sharpness, high, a larger aperture or a smaller aperture capture like at f8 with low ISO that allows you to capture that foreground crisp and sharp and then capture your sky. That blue hour blend with the Star Trek shot is brilliant, and I want to talk a little bit about that blue hour while this Lightroom installs in the background. You fool, why did you not install Lightroom Classic already? I don't know. I thought I had, but I guess I was going to do all my Lightroom over there on that machine, so I didn't. So it's installing right now, but this is no trouble. We're going to go through a couple videos where I show my troubles with this one person during Blue Hour, but let's explain Blue Hour very quickly. So just arrived, add a marker and give the marker dimension. Okay, Steve, that is something that makes sense, except I don't know where to give the marker dimension. I think it's back out of the VR. So basically, I'm going to add a marker here, and instead of creating a camera or a subject, I'm going to do a marker, this guy. And this marker, haha, there it is, Steve. Of course, okay, outside of VR. So I need to create something. I'm going to name it Delicate Arch. And then dimension is 52 feet high. And so let's go ahead and change it. So height, 52. But how much width? Do we know how much width it is? Let's see if we can get this article to tell me how high it is as well. Come on back. And Delicate Arch is a 52-foot tall. Oh, how much wide? How wide? Elevation, dimensions, 52 feet high. Oh, the dimensions don't include width. That's too bad. How wide is Delicate Arch? Might have to guess. The height is really the important part. Oh, 32 feet wide. Yes. Okay. That went really well. Thank goodness. Thank goodness something kind of did. All right, cool. Whenever I think of a last-minute thing, I'm usually putting myself up for a world of hurt in a live stream. And I did it again today, and my face always goes beet red with embarrassment from it, but I'm stoked to be able to do this. Okay, so this is going to be a subject that is 52 feet high, 32 feet wide. Let's make it kind of orange, and I haven't upgraded to use the 3D model feature, but it's okay. Show marker in viewfinder. Yes, yes, good. Okay, I think we've got it. I'm going to hit this check mark above to save it. And now I have a marker. Now where do I want to put this marker? I guess, oh, did I have to decide where that marker goes, Steve? Can I move it now? Oh yeah, there it goes. I can move it to be right here on delicate arch. Brilliant. Then I'm going to change my focal length to put that over there. And now let's see what happens when we put it into the VR mode. And then I'll reiterate what I just did so we can get there since I was clumsily going through it. Now we're going to VR. Okay. Well, that is a real bummer. And this was the one step that MaryBeth and Kirk did not do before they left. They looked at it this way. They saw the terrain in here and said, you know what? That's good. That's really good. You know, I'm going to give you guys a zoom because we need to have a zoom. We need a zoom. And I'm going to do this. And do a new one. Call it the zoom display. Okay, add source. Okay, perfect. And I am going to crop in on just this part of the screen. And I'm going to make that bigger. I want to make this part of the screen bigger. You know what, maybe that. We'll just go to there. Less distraction and allow me to make it a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, I love that. Let me just go there because I want that big window to be big. That big window to be big. Good redundancy. I want this window to be nice and big. So we're going to do that again. So hitting the plus sign, hitting the square. Okay, I'll include that right here. I'll come out of this in the zoom, but I just want you to see this square again. Let's make another square and let's put it somewhere exactly. Let's just do this process again. I'll turn off the zoom and we're going to go back out. So we come back in. Say you have never opened up Planit Pro before. And you're opening it up for your first time. Boom, Planit Pro. Thank you, Wenji. And so now we have this location that I have found and clicked on. It is at Delicate Arch. I'm going to move this circle in the middle of the screen on top of Delicate Arch right here. And then I'm going to say plus down here, this big plus sign. And I'm going to choose a marker. Hit the marker. Now this marker, thankfully, it also can be made large. I'm going to do all caps arch. I'm going to do this one in a brown. Let's do it yellow. And so I've chosen a color. It's arch. I need to give it dimensions. And what dimensions? 52 feet by 32 feet. A squatty little arch. And now this guy is right here, connected to the ground. No height above the ground, just on it. And recognizing it from the topography, it will put it on the terrain that it's at. I'm going to hit this checkbox. Now that marker exists right here. And if I go down here, let's see, I want to zoom out a little bit. If I come off of that marker, when I had it selected, these buttons went away. If I select, say, the orange one, I want to select it. Now it's selected. I can get rid of the orange one. Let's just trash it right there so it's not distracting. So I have the yellow one only on frame, and I have these buttons down here to choose from. I'm going to hit the square so I can go into Viewfinder VR. Viewfinder VR, and in here becomes this, where I want to zoom on it. And now we have a rectangle representing 52 feet tall, 32 feet wide, right here in the scene, telling us what MaryBeth and I sadly discovered. Oh man, Orion does not come close. It doesn't come close. And since my Lightroom is installing, I am just going to quickly go over here and do this. I'm going to show you guys my thumbnail because the picture shows it in the thumbnail, and that will at least get us there with a quick version of this. Oh, that's interesting. What is it on? Sort by date. Oh, I see. Date modified. It wasn't doing date modified. I hate you, Windows, sometimes. All right, here we go. Let's open this up. So in this shot, there's Delicate Arch. There's the rock in between. My hope that there would be Orion right here in this space, nice and tight. So my framing was such that you see
right here. I'm going to grab it on the side. Oh, no, I can't. I'm changing it to different graphics. Not what I wanted to do, but that's kind of cool. Moment of Envy was fantastic on Monday. Adam Hoggett. Let me make this a little smaller, or I can get rid of my zoom. I liked how the zoom was working, but let's get rid of the zoom right now. So you can see all of Orion right here. Here's Orion. Here's that space that I was hoping it would be. In fact, where Sirius is kind of where I wanted the belt, or Betelgeuse even. And up here is Orion. Up there. Up here. All the way up there. And when you look at that gap between Orion's bottom foot right here. Here's Rigel, big old white blue. Here's the other star that's lesser known, and I don't know the name. Betelgeuse is right here. Look at that gap between this and that delicate arch, and we'll go back to this. Let's, in fact, just close it. That is pretty accurate for how much of a gap there is. And that's discouraging. It was discouraging to discover on location, knowing that the moon was going to rise on us, and we were going to have struggle with having the clouds coming in on us. So we had the moon and clouds that were coming, and we had this gap right now, and we thought this is the beginning of night. Orion won't be so high in the sky, but it absolutely was. It absolutely was. Come on, Stellarium. It says it's going to be scaled to 75%. That's an interesting feature. I don't know why, but here we go. So here's Orion right now at this time in my location. If I go back in time, in fact, let me get the zoom off so you don't see that. We had a question from Steve that I'm going to address here in a second, but first let's just look at Orion over the sky. This is what you call zenith. Orion is at zenith. It's at that high point in the sky where it's really clear, and it's a great time to capture it, and it's standing up. Like Orion's a figure of a man, and it looks like he's standing up now. But the really neat Orion is kind of on the side of my personal preference and down low with the subject, and there isn't a down low. Where are our tools? Can I see some of these tools? That's weird. It's because it's all scaled. Where can I get your tools back? I can't even quit. How do I get out of this? All right, Alt F4. All right. Let's try Stellarium, but at full normal size. No, not scaled. Just normal. Why aren't you normal? Angle mode. I just want to open up regular Stellarium. Why are you so crazy? I don't know. Blah. I have to uninstall this and try again. But just let me have some modification to the menu at least. I know I've done that in the past where I can actually change it. It seems like there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup on everything I try tonight, but that's okay. We will survive this. All right. Where are you going to go? Windows key? Oh, you're not going to control that? Let me control you. Let me control your size. Oh, I just want to go forward back in time. Oh, that's going to change there. Shift? No. Control? I'm trying to guess hotkeys now to go back and forward in time. All I'm doing is changing the camera with these. Page up, page down. Oh, that's zooming in. Brackets. There we go. Brackets. Oh, I love it. Okay. So this is the Orion that you want to capture on Delicate Arch. Let's click on this star, the bottom one. Let's learn its name. Scythe. Its name is Scythe. And this star currently at this time, which it's going to tell me now, if I pop, oh, that's play. Oh, that's interesting. It just kind of flattened it out for us. Nice, spacebar. Okay. So this time is, it's somewhere. There's so many numbers in here. I can barely see it. It's just giving me sidereal time, and I don't have that information. Okay, anyway, at this time, when it is, whatever time it is, since I can't control my buttons in the bottom left. Come on. Location window, drag, do something. You see that, don't you? That's weird. So this star being at this height, it is going to give me the altitude. It is a, oh, come on, give me a degree. Altitude This is lunar AZ. I just want the regular AZ altitude. Come on. Altitude azimuth. Here we go. 7 degrees. That's 7 degrees. Let's go back over to our app. Where we're sitting right here with this height, that is under 10 degrees, about 7 degrees. This is 8 or something, the top of that marker. If I go and zoom in again, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is 5 degrees, 10 degrees right here. This is about 8. And so we're looking at something that at that time of night where it's at 7, this is the time you want to capture it. But you don't want what's happening here. Oh, it looks like that time is not happening. Okay, the moon is down. We go forward in time, and the moon eventually rises right there. Oh, sorry, I left the zoom on. Here's the moon. Let's get this thing reconnecting. All right, there's the moon. So we have our Orion here during a good time without a moon in the way. Looks like over here we don't have a sun, we don't have a moon. We are set. We have just twilight period. Go forward, it's not twilight anymore. See how it got darker? It got darker right there. This is without any twilight period most likely, since I can't see the time anymore, but there's no moon, which is perfect. This is when you want to capture it, and this is now gone to 9 degrees, only 9 degrees. So this is good news. So that meant our best time for capturing Orion is already in the past. Oh, Henrietta's trying F5. Dude, thank you. But why is it cut off? That's weird. And F6. It's changing my location. That is so bizarre. I wonder if it's just because I'm on live right now. I'll have to figure that out. But thank you, Henry. Great help. I appreciate that. This right here is Orion at that time. Let's zoom out a bit. And when is the time? Okay, I was saying a sentence that I got distracted from. That sentence was, our time has already passed. It was earlier in the winter when Orion started low enough for us to capture. When we go forward in time, though, what does Orion do? Orion eventually sets and becomes in a good position, gets into a good position for us. Now, at this time of this day, over in the west when it's here, it's starting to have a sunset. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, I'm going backwards in time because now the sun's coming back up. This is very confusing. Where is that sun? So many things are turned off right now that it is confusing because I'm not seeing the sun ever enter the sky, but the moon is going up and over. But it looks like the sun's like permanently on the horizon. That's very bizarre. I'm totally confused. But the point is that we need to, come on, get out of here, Alt F4. We need to take advantage of the time now, earlier in the night if you can, depending on where you are in latitude line, or wait and make sure it's a full dark moon or a moon that doesn't show up in the morning. Make sure the moon is going to set throughout the night and set before that morning time when Orion is about to set. I was going to show you the time that Orion set on Stellarium, but we can't work with that. Imagine if MaryBeth and I on January 20th, 2022 wanted to see Orion, but have him set. We just need to go forward in time. Watch Orion go through the sky. Continue on throughout the night into the morning of the 21st. And now we're looking at, looks like a 5-degree Orion. Let's just go back up to like 7 or 10. Let's put that right around there. So that's a pretty low Orion right there. We're looking away from Delicate Arch now. If I went out of this, you'll see that now I am completely pointing over here. So if I want to get Delicate Arch like that, I would have to move my camera and place it over here. And that could work if I do that. Let me grab my camera right now and move it. Move for me. I guess I just need a place over here. I'll just put my finger down and then say, put my camera. So my camera is now here. I'm going to point it this direction with Delicate Arch in my frame. I still have my marker there over Delicate Arch, and I'm going to hit my viewfinder window and change it to VR. And there we go. It's going to show us, and zoom in. It's going to show us how that close to Delicate Arch now, it's much bigger in the frame, and Orion's off to the right. So MaryBeth and I, all we had to do was tell the moon to go away, which we couldn't do, and wait until 2:14 a.m. when Orion was on, this position of the sky. 2:14 a.m. We definitely would have done that, but we couldn't because the moon was up. It didn't matter anymore at that point with the moon. Just like with the Milky Way, the moon will knock out all your color, all your interest. And that's where we come into the final thing we're going to talk about tonight with our last 10 minutes. It's 54. A little clumsy as I went through this app, so I'm going to give us a little bit extra time, like I did last week anyway, and talk about the picture that came out, the raw, from this location, and look at how the Barnard's loop shows up really, really well. And then I'll tackle some of the comments and questions, and we'll get out of here and have the rest of our night. So let's go ahead, kill the zoom, and I'm going to show you this. Barnard's loop. Just if you Google Barnard's loop, this is what it is. And it is an emission nebula underneath my face here in the constellation of Orion. It is part of the Orion molecular cloud complex. That's what Keith was saying at the beginning. He's like, the Orion molecular cloud complex, Wednesday is a good ring has a good ring to it, which also contains the dark Horsehead and bright Orion nebulae. The loop takes the form of a large arc centered approximately on the Orion nebula. It's kind of basically doing this interesting wraparound of Orion. Let's look at some of the images that are out there right now. And so let's look at one that's really definitely looking like Orion. This is perfect right here. Let's look at this one and bring it over to the side of the window where you can see it. Pull this out right there. All right, that works for me. So you can see the three stars from his belt, and then down here Orion Nebula. Here's the Horsehead Nebula, and here's what we learned with Scythe, and over here's Rigel, and we can't see Betelgeuse right now. It's out of the frame. But you see Barnard's loop in very high detail right there. So that is something that is indicative of a star tracked or an Astro-modded camera. If you star tracked well, you'll see this. If you have an Astro-modded camera, you'll see this instantly. And so when we were talking about the star tracker and how it was pulling out detail like Barnard's loop, we had some ask, okay, has it really shown up in your shot, even in your raw? It's hard to see it in mine. It's actually showing up. Let's see about Lightroom now. All right, open up Lightroom Classic for the first time ever. So Blake is teasing Chris Woodruff because Chris Woodruff just said, before Orion sets in the west, you can shoot the winter Milky Way arch. And then Blake goes, Chris, always pushing the winter Milky Way. Good man, Chris. Good man. He says, yes. In fact, I should just show you what I'm talking about before that ditches from the chat. So here is their comments right here while I get this picture up right now. I'm going to go ahead and import these 4 images or so. No, I don't want tips right now, Lightroom, but thank you very much. And and here, and Milky Way Wednesday, and February 16th. That's where it is, correct? Double checking that is where I have left these. February 16th. Yeah. Oh no, those are video files. Where are the actual images? They are. Go. Did I move them? I moved them into Milky Way Wednesday and February 16th. That's what I did. Okay, cool. So Milky Way Wednesday is under what folder? Documents. Okay, I'm just navigating to it, realizing that I didn't necessarily narrow it down foolishly. I'm going to import everything but the photo pills picture and that, and we're going to import them. So Doug says, I opened up Planit Pro and it showed my location. I can't figure out how to change to a different location. So let me just solve that real quick. Let's just disable that feature right now. Okay, so let's go back to my iMac screen. Let's minimize Lightroom. And so Doug is asking, how do I get in here? You're on Planit, and let's say we come out of here and I want to go to, let's go up here to Goblin Valley Factory Butte area. Let's come all the way out. Here's Factory Butte, and I want to put, see how there's this white circle in the center there, Doug? And I'm going to put myself off of the road looking towards Factory Butte. When I have this here, all I have to do is hit the plus sign and then put my camera, set the camera location. Boom. So what I did was I navigated through the satellite view of the scene, you know, the terrain, and then found my spot and then clicked there. And now my camera has been set to that part of the road, and I can change my camera and go, you know what, I want to do a different focal length. And I click on focal length right here and change it to an 85 millimeter. How much of Factory Butte will I see? Okay, it looks like I'll see that. If I go down to my square, click that, see the VR. Let's find out what it looks like here. Okay, with 85, I'm really tightly showing Canis Major. Unlike Delicate Arch, Factory Butte shows up. So this is one of the best features of Planit Pro, and it's absolutely terrific, especially with adding in your own marker and creating your own feature. This is why Kirk will tell you that it is way better than Photo Pills, and I agree that this feature is way better than Photo Pills. I have both. I would use both, and you're really only going to use both a little bit, and they're fantastic. Even though they're worth $10, it's still fantastic. Definitely go for it. Doug, I hope that answered it, and looks like Steve hit you up with another answer as well. So let's go into Lightroom. Let's look at these. I have them all rotated. Let's get them up in a good position, and also bring my thumbnails up to a nice, comfortable, I'm on a live stream form. So this is the Blue Hour discussion. And I was just going to joke about how this guy was in every shot of Blue Hour, and we don't have time to go into the Blue Hour discussion. It was mostly discussion that there's this window of time, and I will go into this to show you, where you can see Blue Hour. This is Delicate Arch that night, and down here on this part, down below, I'm just tapping on the left side to go backwards, or I tap on this right side with my thumb. And what I mean is this. I just tap that. I just tap it. And it's going forward. It's going forward when I tap it. And you can see in the bottom now it says I'm at the sunset. I tap it again. It says Blue Hour begins. Blue Hour began that night at 5:44, and it ends at civil twilight. Well, when civil twilight ends and nautical twilight begins. So from 5:44 p.m. to 5:55 p.m., that's that time that I wanted to capture Blue Hour. And unfortunately, during that time, I had my friend down here at 6:34, which is actually read that at 5:34, and I think it's off by 10 minutes. So 5:44, 5:47, and he's starting to pack up. He's starting to pack it up. I'm getting excited. I'm like, yes, go, go. He gets to there and starts fiddling with his backpack. He's like, oh, no, let me try something real quick. Let me put my backpack down. Oh, that'll work out great. It's like, no, dude, don't. Let's go ahead. That's not what I wanted to show you, but let me go ahead and show you that because it was funny and aggravating, and just let's commiserate together. So my friend out there was packing. Oh, yeah, I'm talking. You know you want it. Let me listen to myself. Let me see. You want to get out of that frame. Come on, you're so close. Oh, I'm just whispering, so you might not be able to hear it. You can see my scene. It's so close to working out. So close to making it so that he leaves within that time of Blue Hour. I'm upside down now. Let's go ahead and rotate. Man, how do I rotate this? I've never had to rotate it, but just enjoy me upside down for a moment. Me trying to get my Blue Hour shot. If you haven't tried to get a Blue Hour shot before, when you're hanging out there and you're looking over, Eric Reese says, Planit Pro is amazing. Literally like a planning app on steroids. 100% agree. Definitely. So this guy is moving. Okay, let's go back out. But that was my challenge that I was being faced with this guy right here. And that can happen where I'm like, okay, if he leaves, I don't have to clone him out. This isn't that bad. I mean, I have a guy who's up here in this shot. I have this person right here in the shot. Looks like a guy and a girl right there. They're hanging out for the sunset. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on, get out of the way, dude. And he did. Unfortunately, just 2 minutes after Blue Hour. But look at the difference. And it is saying that, oh, you know, it's not that different. But at the same time, look at the histogram. Here it is before Blue Hour. Oh, I don't want to zoom in. And here's after Blue Hour. Watch how it progressively goes lower. So I have this, okay, so that's not blue hour. There's a little different exposure. You can see I have a different setting. That's 6 seconds, and this one's 20 seconds. So the same settings, ISO 100 f8. I've got a nice crisp focus on my foreground. I have something that's going to look and work really, really well and sharp. And Orion's going to be right here, and it's going to be amazing, right? No, it was way up here. Suck. Well, that 2-minute lost me just a little bit of light, but it's also a lesson in don't worry too much. As that blue hour was just ending, yeah, I have a slightly different light at this time frame, but it's not so much that I lost my sharpness, and it's not so much that ruins it. You don't have to worry about keeping within that blue hour recommendation from your PhotoPills app or whatever else you're seeing on Google. So just know that blue hour is a great time to capture your foreground when you start tracking, and you don't have to be too picky. MaryBeth will often get it during any twilight period, just whatever turns out the best, and she'll go as long of an exposure as she needs to make it show up the way that she would want. So this will be fun to play with and combine with this raw image. And let me move my face. And I'll put it here in the middle there. You weren't seeing any of that data of the... Actually, you know what? Move myself over here. Why not? Let's do that. So zooming in on this raw, complete raw, you can see Orion Nebula showing up nice and strong. Rigel, Scythe, and Betelgeuse. And you know, they're showing up that strong because... unbeknownst to you and only to me, when I was navigating through these images, I could see how clouds were coming in after this, and it's just not visible, but a thin cloud layer showed up and made my brighter magnitude stars pop off and made Orion pop off, which is a huge benefit. It was awesome. It was just so thin to give me the benefit but not ruin the detail and clarity. Now let's go in and see that Barnard's loop. You can see it there, but you might not be seeing it from that screen. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little different. Instead of 300%, let's do 200. Oh, that's way too far. How about we do 50%? That 50% zooms a solid one. And you can see Barnard loop right here going through here. But it's just probably hard for you to see. Let's go into the develop module and just play around, bringing up that exposure a little bit. And let's bring up, I don't want to bring in contrast necessarily, but you can start, you've got to be having a difficult time seeing it. But it is right there in the raw before I've done anything to bring out that color, anything I've done to bring out that contrast between the stars and the sky. I haven't played with the whites. I haven't played in bringing the shadows down. Actually, you know what? Bringing those whites to an extreme, you're starting to see it. There you go. You can see what I'm seeing. And that is there. And so this Barnard's loop is visible and showing up in my shot. Look at the pinks of the Rosette Nebula. They're showing up without an Astro-modified camera, and just thanks to what is 120 seconds, the 2 minutes that JHM captured. In fact, I thought this was 180, but I was looking at a different shot, JHM. So this is the 120 that will give you that detail. It'll give you some of the nebula right here, the nebula there, the stuff that we were seeing in this image. And let's zoom out a little bit. Let's do this guy's awesome shot. He has Barnard's loop in the Magellanic Clouds, which is Orion over here, and the large and small Magellanic Cloud. And can I zoom in a little bit? No, I can't really any more than that. Let's use my zoom display. Haha. So if I move this window, I can get us on top of it. So you can see the pinks up here above and next to Betelgeuse, Barnard's loop, the pinks in Horsehead Nebula, the pinks around Orion Nebula, and then we aren't seeing this, but this is part, what was it, Pelican? No. It was Pelican, right, MaryBeth? You started seeing Pelican for your first time as you waited through the night, and that was so bright next to Rosette. It was really cool to keep in, and it's awesome. It is a beautiful night sky, which is why Chris is emphasizing that for us. So Barnard's loop is visible with just 2 minutes of star tracking, and pay attention to a little bit of my stars. Look at how stretched they are on this edge of the frame on this Rokinon lens. Or no, this is my 15 to 30 Tamron. Look how stretched it is a little bit here. In fact, I'll go in a lot more. Let's do 6%. Oh, wrong direction. Let's do 300. You can see the stretch. But as I go towards the center of the image, they are dots. They start to stretch out on the edges, which is why panoramas are terrific to use the best, clearest portion of your image and your stars all in one. All right? Okay, we went a little long tonight. Very long tonight. In fact, it's 8:09. So, Seagull Nebula. Thank you, MaryBeth. Seagull, awesome. Let's get out of this giant screen and the zoom that I was doing and go to the chat. All right, cool. Okay, so Steve says the tutorials are very good and also available in the main menu. Pancake menu, upper left. Hit those video tutorials. You can find them. I'll just get out of Lightroom. Yes, I really do want to quit. I'm giving up. Just let me give up. And let's go to my iMac screen again. Kill the zoom. And you can see up here in the main menu, you got this pancake menu right there. And you got that. And then the tutorials, which I believe Mike created a bunch of great tutorials for it. Video tutorials right here. You can go on that and get some tutorials on how to use Planit. Definitely fully recommend. Kirk will be so sad that he wasn't here for the night that I pushed push Planit versus photo pills. See, even when I'm trying to push Planit, I still say photo pills, so I'm messing it up. All right, so let's see. Thank you, Keith. Honestly, I couldn't believe I captured this, but that was with the help of Planit Pro. And let's scroll up. Any all caps questions that I missed? We'll put top of arch. Oh, I think MaryBeth answered that question Steve was asking about moving the camera closer to the arch and getting it up there. Fortunately, that was where it all bowled down and dipped down. The closer we got, the further down we got, which was okay, but then it moved our view of Orion extremely too fast, and we could fall, and it was going to be really hard in the dark. And you can also pinch zoom. Okay, he was talking about that. I'm looking back. There's no other caps. We have a bunch of not yets. All right, awesome. Okay, Mike Shaw. Thank you, Steve. It was Mike Shaw. And so, sweet. Thank you for hanging out with me as I bumbled through an app that I use rarely, but I wanted to feature something that I thought I remembered how to do it, but I hadn't done it before this live stream. And as I was coming out to the studio, I thought I should do that. And, that's usually famous last words. Typical for me. Vic says, thank you, Aaron, for another awesome webcast. I can't wait to attend one of your workshops. Awesome. I can't wait to have you, Vic. That'd be fantastic to have you. In fact, MaryBeth and I are doing the very next workshop for me, and it is out in the Upper Peninsula and Minnesota. And so if you go to workshops.photogadventures.com, iMac screen, turn off the zoom. Okay, it is off. That's in 35 days that MaryBeth and I are going. Earl's going to join us. We have Molly already there. We're going to have a great group. And the ones that are sold out, I'm sorry, but we do have openings in Salt Flats and Ward Charcoal Ovens, as well as Goblin Valley in July through August 1st. And that is a vertical Milky Way, which is why they're not fully sold out yet, but it's a great time to go out still. And when the weather cooperates, as we always have to hope for, it's fantastic. And then the other one, Vic, that's available is Goblin Valley later in the year, August 22nd through 26th, where I'm going to do Star Tracker, and it's going to be an advanced workshop where we do the Star Tracker stuff and Deep Sky. So we'll have fun with that. Thank you, Cheryl. And sun is heating up too. Oh yeah, right? That's for sure. We're getting cold right now, but it is definitely heating up. And any of you who are going to Nightscaper Conference, I'm going to be sending out an email to those of you on my email list. I'll be letting you know about my Nightscaper openings that I have to join me out over those nights that we're doing Nightscaper Conference. You guys can join me and MaryBeth out in Nightscaper in Kanab in April 26th through 29th, I think is correct. And we are going to be doing tons of Milky Way, Deep Sky, Astro of Star Tracker, all sorts of fun. And so if you want to join me and MaryBeth or just me out in a workshop, you'll see some information out there in my email. I'm going to hook it up with those who are in the oh, I see. MaryBeth is talking about Aurora. The flares are heating up, not that the sun is warming up the terrain. Because, yeah, when we're in Minnesota, we will not feel warmth whatsoever. It'll be very, very frigid, but it'll be awesome. How much hiking is our Goblin Valley factory trip? Actually, very little. It's one of my littlest hiking, Doug. You show up at Goblin Valley, we walk down in here. It's like a walk in the park, and it's fun. Then we walk back. When we go to Dead Horse Point, we're right there. We pull up, and we walk like 50 yards. and on flat terrain. Then we go to another location at Hoodoo Village. That's the most walking, and it's like 200 yards. It's nothing. Very easy. Easy place to go to. The very last part of that rock wall, we have to go down a slippery, not slippery, very sticky, but just very steep. And you just go the right path and you're fine. But other than that, it's golden. There's no like cliff edge to fall off. It's really just like a normal hill like you'd see in a regular park, but it just happens to be sandstone. Thank you, Steve. That's kind of you to say. Gonna see you in North Carolina in October. Yes, Phil. And I don't think I have any other questions to hit up. So fantastic. Hey. Oh, whoops, wrong one. That opener. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Aaron King with Photog Adventures. If you have any questions, please hit me up over in Gmail. There's a Milky Way Wednesday at gmail.com. Let me double check that email real quick. Yes, Milky Way Wednesday at gmail.com. If you have any questions you want me to tackle during our Milky Way Wednesday, hit me up there, and I'll come into it with a prepared document, prepared images, and answer your question. I'm stoked to do that. I hope that you'll come and do that and join me next week. Monday Moment of Envy, if you want to see some images that are awesome over on Facebook that I am just gushing over, I am live on Mondays at 12 o'clock my time, Mountain Time, noon Mountain Time. And then I'm also live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you, Blake, for hanging out during your dinner, man. Appreciate it, letting me go long tonight as I was, finding the buttons. But it turned out pretty well. Turned out really well. So good night, MaryBeth. Good luck with your Chicago show, and everyone else. Have a good one. Get out there. The moon is up, and the moon will be up during a good time for Orion, but wait for that time when the moon gets out of the way towards new moon, and you have Orion all night long, and then it sets and gets right there. So find something that you can capture Orion over a rock or a cool tree or a cool subject that is in the southwest. Find something in the southwest that'll work, and you'll be set. All right, have a great night. Thank you again so much, and see ya. Have a good one.